the minutes from last month?
Those were uploaded. No, I sent y'all back the email.
Okay, I was gonna say, but I don't have it in here to, it's not in script, but we do need to approve. I didn't see it. It is on the last page? Yeah. See the little print, okay. I see it. Case materials, I saw the case materials and minutes. Okay, sorry.
We're ready with you, Madam Chair.
It's 1 o'clock. Yes. Okay. Welcome to the April 25th, 2022 meeting of the Jefferson County Board of Zoning Adjustment. The Board of Zoning Adjustment is a 5-member board. 3 affirmative votes are required to approve a request for variance or appeal. For anyone addressing the board today, please give us your name and address for the record, and then tell us what your hardship is or what your objection to this request may be. You will be given our decision today verbally, and you will receive our decision in writing within 10 days. Zoning approvals can be issued immediately following the hearing in our office at room B200. However, you will first be required to obtain a permit from the Jefferson County Department of Health if your application involves connection to a septic tank, or the Jefferson County Environmental Services Department if your application involves connection to sanitary sewer. Anyone disagreeing with the board's decision today has 15 days in which to file an appeal in circuit court. Also, we would ask that you silence any electronic devices during this hearing. First item on the agenda, Valor Communities, case number A22-0012. Valor Communities applicant Christopher Knight is 8201 and 8209 Owen Drive, McCalla, 35111. Would the staff please present the case?
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chairman. This is A22-0012. It's a variance to allow construction of a residence having 2 stories. The first story having 660 square feet in lieu of the 700 square feet necessary, and the second story having 815 square feet. The total square footage of this residence is 1475. If you look at your notes and notice that the average square footage is 17 plus or minus 100 feet. It's in the Lakeview district. There are some, I don't want to call them issues, but Lakeview was, history of it, Lakeview was annexed into Tuscaloosa County. The courts found that annexation reconstituted, so they kind of reversed it. So we're left with a district that's really left with Tuscaloosa zoning and in Jefferson County. If you look right there at the 2 lots and 2 parcels in question, you'll notice they're kind of small and slender. But and the problem with the 1 lot to the northwest here is it has road frontage on 3 sides. It's really hurting it as far as construction-wise. It's generally a little smaller than the houses, existing houses. It's just fill-in housing to complete the subdivision. Staff recommends approval.
Any questions from the board?
Chairman, I'll need to abstain on this vote.
Okay. We'll allow you to do that. At this time, we'd like to open a public hearing regarding this item. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak in opposition or support to the request?
I'm here for Valor Communities. My name is Mark Johnson, 4581 Deer Creek Trail, Bessemer, Alabama. I'm here if anybody has any questions.
You can't. You're not even going to ask questions. Okay.
The 2 lots are the one like this gentleman had mentioned. It is got some size restrictions on that lot because of the road frontages, and the lot to the right of that has a sewer easement on the back side that really limits the size and the footprint of what can go on that lot. So, and we have also requested this variance for this exact house in another neighborhood as well, and was granted that previously.
It adheres to the other setbacks.
Yes.
Any other questions? Is there anyone here in opposition? If not, this hearing is closed. If there's no other questions from the board, may I have a motion from the board?
I make a motion to approve.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Let's do a roll call vote. That way you can abstain.
Johnson,
Approve.
Eldridge,
Approve.
Hickman,
Approve.
White.
Abstain.
Your variance has been granted. You can meet with the building department when you need it, when you need your permits.
Thank you.
And you can pick that up, or you can talk to them. You'll get a letter if you need it ahead of time.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Our next case is A22-0013. Am I reading the right one? Shady Grove. Okay, I didn't read who it was. Shady Grove Volunteer Fire Department, and the applicant is David French. The address is 2663 Shady Grove Road, Adamsville, 35005. Would the staff please present the case?
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chairman. Again, this is A220013. It's a variance for the terms of the regulations to allow construction of a 250-foot cellular tower located within 700 feet of a protected residential area. The circle right there represents the 600 feet. Right up there is yeah, we need to go to the zoning map, I guess would be better here. That area up in the white in Adamsville is the area that's keeping making them have to ask for this variance. It's the density up in this area right in here. However, I'd like to say it's to the board privy to approve these type of towers in the situation near protected areas where there's a need for improvement in cell coverage. As you've seen in your package right there, the three pictures demonstrate the improvement in coverage. I'd like to also add that the tower has been designed to fall in less space than the height of the tower. So it's engineered designed for as least damage as possible if it falls, but you can see that the northern area up there, what is in question, is kind of on the far edge of it. Because of the increased need for cellular coverage, the staff recommends approval on this case.
Does any member of the board have questions for staff regarding the case? Okay, at this time, we'd like to open a public hearing regarding this item. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak in opposition or support of the request?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Patton Hahn. Address is 420 20th Street North, Birmingham. I'm an attorney at Baker Donaldson. I'm here representing Southern Towers, which will be the owner of the tower. Our lessor in this case is the Shady Grove Volunteer Fire Department. The tower owner took steps to try to locate it further away so that we wouldn't need this variance. This was the only place where we could get a willing landowner. And I think, as you can see from the propagation maps that are in the packet, this is a place with a part of the county with very poor cellular coverage. And this tower will have room for 3 other carriers on it, so it will improve. Regardless of who your cellular company is, you're going to get increased coverage in this area. Also, there'll be space provided on the tower for the fire department itself, for its E911 services. So we think it's a good thing. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Is there anyone here that would like to speak in opposition? Come to the podium.
I don't know.
Your
if-
name and address.
My name is Angela Haskett, 4848 Magnolia Drive, Adamsville.
Okay, I see where Magnolia is over there.
Okay. I'm not aware of but two of my neighbors that even received a letter. So, I mean, so I'm the only one here. But of those two neighbors, and just kind of putting it out to the public, the only people who were for it was people who don't live close to it, So, I've been reading a lot about cell towers, and, it says it microwaves birds, and it recommends that you paint your house with a certain kind of paint to keep the radiation off your house. Well, if you're trying to keep it off the birds in the house, then what's it going to do to me? I just don't think it's wise to put something like that in a neighborhood for people's health. And if it did fall, then, most likely it's going to fall on my house,
Can you point out where your house is on this map?
One right there. Push the
Okay.
silver button and you can lay the light up on it.
Okay.
Push down. There you
Okay.
go.
My house is probably right there. Right there. Yeah, right there.
Might pull up the arrow.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Okay.
You see your house?
I would guess it would be maybe right there. I'm not sure.
2737.
No, it's 4848.
48 is right there on
Yeah.
the page.
Okay. Okay.
4840.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's actually off of the
Right, it's on
the map.
big,
It's
it was
barely, it's the
outside
edge.
of the radius, however.
It looks like it goes through it just a little bit, a portion of it, but not the house. Not the house itself. Okay.
I mean, why can't they put it somewhere else? I have great cell service. I have no need for it.
Are you serviced by that fire department?
Yes, and I know that they'll probably make a lot of money off of it, but they can make their money somewhere else. And, and the county makes a whole lot of money off of it, but, they'll have to make it somewhere else. That's how I feel.
Well, according to the attorney that spoke, they tried to put it somewhere else and they couldn't because of the terrain. But
Well, 2 miles down the road, there's nothing but woods. I mean, it's, like owned by one company.
yeah, all companies aren't willing to put it up.
Well, they've got oil wells on them, so, I mean, what would be their opposition to a cell tower?
Okay. Any questions? We have precedents on page 3 of 11, packet page 28.
I think we had, I think we had, on this case, I think we had 2 precedents.
Oh, I was on the wrong
Actually, they have a
page.
long list though, and I had meant to say that I wasn't gonna mention them all because they were so numerous, the precedents set were, it's on page 3 of 12 in your packet there.
There it is.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, that's approved.
From 2004 to 2014.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to also add as a little caveat that, and I'm not an attorney or anything, but they really no justification for their radiation.
Yes. I would think it'd be a lot of the proximity to it,
Right.
and working on them would probably be a lot more. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, sir. You can.
I just want to say, while sensitive to the opposition sometimes we get from residents on the environmental and radio frequency, the facility will absolutely comply with all federal guidelines regarding emissions and other things.
Thank you. Anyone else? Come to the podium.
When would this tower be built?
Good afternoon. My name is Sean Caskey. I'm the managing partner of Southern Towers. Our office address is 250 Signal Mountain Road, Chattanooga, Tennessee, 37405. This tower still has to undergo some additional federal regulatory requirements. There's a bat study that has to be done for the habitat of bats in this area. It's possible that this tower will not be able to be constructed until sometime in the fall. We're doing everything we can to get it as quickly as possible. And to clarify this, Southern Towers works with fire departments wherever we can because we like to provide additional tower space and allow them to install their equipment for free on those towers as long as the tower is there. This is as much for improvement of the 911 services and health and human services in the communities by allowing the fire companies to have better access to their radio equipment and better signal for their fire trucks, as well as for the sheriff's departments who go out on domestic violence cases and other things that are the most dangerous cases that they go on, and typically they get out there and their radios don't work and their cell phones don't work. So this is more for that sort of service to be consistent throughout the counties, as well as providing benefit to the community, the citizens of the community who will see improvement on their phones, whether it's through T-Mobile or Dish when they come through, or Verizon or AT&T. Verizon just happens to be the first client we have for this site, but we do make them available to all of the different carriers. So we hope to get it built as soon as possible, but we have to follow the rules just like everybody else. We want to make sure we cross all the T's and dot all the I's with every bit of regulation that we have. Thank you. Any questions for me?
I want to say we're also still subject to conditional use permit approval
By the county's correct.
I do have one. Could you address our concern about needing to paint our house a special?
Yes, I'm happy to do so. Cell phones have been in use for over 30 years now. And these frequencies, these are not new frequencies that have been discovered in a laboratory or something. These are frequencies that have been used by television broadcasting companies, AM and FM radio companies for 80, 90 years now. And it's just the technology has changed to take that frequency off of your car radio and start using it for cell phones. The difference between the kinds of radiation out there, without getting too deep in it, is ionizing and non-ionizing radiation. Ionizing radiation is the stuff of nuclear weapons. Non-ionizing radiation is the stuff like your hair dryer does. When it turns on and runs, it creates non-ionizing radiation. Cell phone frequencies are the same kind of thing. It's just a radio that broadcasts back and forth like a CB radio or a ham radio. The cell phone itself, power is 0.3 watts, unlike a microwave, which is 1,100 watts. The tower itself broadcasts at about 250 watts, so the power is not that strong. And that's one of the reasons they are located as close as they are, is because they're really not all that powerful. There are things people are talking about with 5G. 5G is not what everybody thinks it is. 5G is what's called a fifth generation. It's an improvement in the computer systems and operating power of computers to transmit data back and forth between the cell tower and the switch where it then goes on somewhere else. It allows you to use your phone to watch videos. What we're currently using around the country right now is 4G, which is fourth generation. 5G is just an improvement in the technology. There is something out there that goes with this that is microwave that's used in city centers and areas at intersections, which is a new add to this. It was a frequency that was taken from television broadcasting. It's not used in these communities because the signal doesn't travel very far. It only goes a few hundred feet. So we won't see it out there. What we'll see is the typical cell tower that you always see with the antennas. The only thing that's improved is the computer systems inside the radio boxes. And that's the difference between 4G and 5G. Don't need to paint your house a different color unless you want to. Any further questions for me?
Anything else?
Thank you very much for your time.
If there's no one else, this public hearing is closed. There's nothing else, no other questions. I'll entertain a motion from the board.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against say nay. Your variance has been granted. Thank you. The next case is A22-0014, Ursi Earl Allred Jr. and Nelda W. Allred. The applicant is Stephen Watkins. It's for 5810 Rockdale Road, Bessemer 35022. Would the staff please present?
Madam Chairman, this case here needs to be carried over. Staff recommends to be carried over because there was an error in the notice, and residents in the area that should be notified need to be re-notified. So, however, we are, it has been announced, and if anyone's here, well, no one's here, so we'd ask that you carry this case over.
Do we need a motion to carry it over?
Make a motion to carry this case to next month.
And I second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carry over to next month. Next item, have all board members had a chance to review the case materials and minutes from the May 28, 22 hearing that was sent to us electronically? If so, I'll entertain a motion from the board regarding the minutes from March 28, 22.
Motion to approve the minutes from March 28.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Well, I should say any discussion. Not all in favor, say aye. There's no other business. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion we adjourn.
We are adjourned.
Laughing.
The paint.
I wanted to see what he was going to have.